thing I want to talk about is the Tampa Scale for Kinesiophobia. So let's take a look at that one. I know I gave you the 11-item version of that one. The original version of this was 17 items long. And it had 4 reverse scored items that were actually sort of thrown in to see if people were kind of paying attention. As it turns out, they kind of mucked up the properties of the scale, so people have tried and looked at the properties without those items in it. By and large, they're better. I like the 11-item version myself, personally. There's a 12-item version, there's a 13-item version, I think there's a 6-item and an 8-item version. I mean, people look at all sorts of different versions here of this scale, figure out how many you need to really have. The construct of kinesiophobia, I'm going to say, is not well defined, and I would say that the problem there is that suffix phobia. We know that a phobia is an irrational fear, right? Look again at the items on that scale and tell me if all of those sound to you like they're irrational. If you look at those scales, it'll be things like pain lets me know when to stop exercising so I don't hurt myself or something. Pain lets me know when to stop exercising. I don't know if that's irrational. There are a couple of items like that in there that perhaps aren't inherently irrational. And I know that my understanding is that these guys wish perhaps that they had chosen a different term other than kinesiophobia. However, that said, I went through a period of time where I wasn't a big fan of this scale, but I have recently come around. While it may not be measuring an irrational fear of movement or re-injury, I do think it's measuring sort of a negative, just a general negative orientation towards exercise. And as a therapeutic exercise professional, I kind of want to know that. Right? It probably affects their compliance or their adherence like it did. The 11-item version isn't terribly long. You can have them fill it out. You can score it up. It's hard to know exactly what a high score is, but generally scores of 20 or higher are probably potentially problematic. Again, on that radar plot, that would make me put that dot out a little bit closer to the high range. Okay? And once again, if I'm trying to come up with a treatment plan for my patient and they are scoring super high on the Tampa Scale for Kinesiophobia, my first option probably isn't going to be an independent exercise program. Chances are it's not going to go that way. So again, maybe this is where we start with a little bit of education. Trying to understand where that fear comes in.